Hi everyone. So today I want to talk about something which is really important to me and is very close to my heart. So what I want to touch on is why so many highly sensitive people and empaths either work with or are connected to horses, and what that means as well. What it means to be highly sensitive and how we can use it to our benefit, really, and to the benefit of the horses in our lives. So, and also I think to realize if you are sensitive, because I really believe that everybody has an empathic ability, and everybody has a superpower in that way. Everybody is sensitive, everybody has the capacity to feel, everybody can sense their environment. And often, it's important to remember that we literally are our horse's environment when we're around them. We're not the totality of their environment, but we make up a large majority of it when they're in our presence. And becoming more aware of how we can use our own sensitivity to kind of calibrate with our horses is important, because it helps them and it helps us as well. So what does it mean to be a highly sensitive person? Essentially, being highly sensitive means that you feel everything. And this can come in so many different shapes and sizes. It can come in the form of emotions, it can come in the form of physical manifestations like tingling or change of temperature in different places, around different people. It can come as a stream of thoughts that come in completely unbeknownst to us. It can come in so many different forms, and that's part of the beauty of everybody having their own level of sensitivity. Being empathic is basically, in my opinion, it's either very, very, very similar or it's the same thing. Because when we're empathic, we are tuning into either the other people or the animals or the place that we are with or in. And to such a degree that we almost become that thing. And that is a skill. It is, in my opinion, it's a superpower. And it can be used in the most incredible way when we approach it with compassion. Because often being an empath or being highly sensitive can be incredibly challenging, because there's so much going on in our world. There are so many different types of environments that we step into, and everybody has their own energy, and everything has its own energy. So that's what we're tuning into all the time, and it can be very overwhelming. So to be a highly sensitive person, or to be an empath, is to essentially be completely in contact with your environment, with your world, and that includes all of the different beings in it. So obviously our horses as well. And so one thing that we can do as highly sensitive people around our horses as well is to really begin to notice, and I know I've spoken about this before, but it's really become aware of how we're feeling and of what we're thinking, and basically practice getting present. Because if we're constantly tuning into our environment, then we're also tuning into our horses, and we could be also carrying something from the day, or carrying, other people's energies on the yard or whatever it is. And our horses are also highly sensitive, so they're going to be picking up all of that from us as well. And it's important to remain clean and present and in a state of flow as much as possible, so that we can actually communicate with our horses and hear what they have to say and feel what they're feeling and have a cleaner exchange of communication. So it is very important to become present, and you can do that with breath work. I'm going to be putting out a series about that, so there is more information coming on that. But for the moment, just focus on your breath, come back into your body, and ask yourself what you're feeling. And as a highly sensitive person, as an empath, that's one of the most important things, because our feeling ability is so acute and it's so strong. So it's our guidance system, essentially. And how this can benefit our relationship with our horses is, when we begin to become more present and to become more aligned with our own energy, and we begin to, discern what's my energy, what am I feeling, not against, but just alongside, is this somebody else's energy? Is this the energy of the environment? What am I picking up right now? You really begin to tune into your own frequency and the frequency of everything around you. And when you do that, of course, we begin to tune into the frequency of our horses. And this becomes very beneficial because they are always communicating to us. They're always either communicating with us or mirroring something in us. And when we can tune this ability that we have into more of a channel of communication with them, then we can essentially just feel what they are trying to say at a much deeper level. And this can be very fine-tuned to even just feeling when they're about to move, or feeling when they're about to look at you, or feeling, it can be anything. It can become such a finely tuned skill that I think it just gets more and more and more and more refined. So that's how it can benefit our relationship with our horses. Essentially, we become a lot more open to the messages that they have. And that is so personal to you and your horse, or to you and the horses in your life. And it's also so personal to the horses themselves, because it offers them, I think, a lot more respect on our part, because we become, being in their environment, we become a lot more present and open to receive what they have to say. And they always have something to say. They're always communicating. So that is how being highly sensitive or being empathic can benefit us. Why are so many highly sensitive people attracted to horses and vice versa? So in my opinion and in my experience, we do live in a universe based off the law of mirroring. So essentially, the way that we are and the energy that we emit and our thoughts and our beliefs and everything about us is essentially going out into the world and being mirrored back to us all the time. This is never not happening. It's a continuous cycle. And so when we come into the world as highly sensitive, it is a gift. And I do also believe that everybody has a level of sensitivity. So everybody has their own gift. But horses are so deeply attuned to our energy. And so for them, I think that they come in as a support as well. They're attracted to us when we're highly sensitive as a support, and also as a mirror of us. Because if we look at how sensitive horses truly are, there really is a mirror matching relationship going on. And often it can take years until we realize that, But I remember as a child being so drawn to horses because I felt safe. I felt safe around them. I felt that they understood me. I was going through all these different emotions and all these different feelings and feeling everything in my environment. And when I was around a horse, that all seemed to calm down and become quiet. And I felt very centered. And I felt that they were protecting me. So that's my own personal experience with why I was drawn to horses. And horses seem to have always done that in some way. They've always protected me or taught me or been agents of growth, essentially. And yeah, I think that because of their level of empathy, we become a mirror to each other. And when we bring our awareness to this fact, it does become a very, very beautiful exchange where we can do that at a conscious level. And that's definitely something I'm still working on, to remain present and remain in that mirror state and that flow state. But what I've noticed over the years is that the more I consciously choose to be sensitive around them, the more they show me and the more I'm able to understand their model of the world and also mine. So I hope that this is helpful for anybody out there who is sensitive and who feels their environment. I mean, there's going to be so many of you who do, because what I've noticed in the equine world is that the majority of people who work with horses just are empathic. They are just so sensitive, and it's coming to the realization of that and being okay with it and learning how to navigate that gift. One more thing I want to touch on is that often in our society and growing up, being too sensitive, being too emotional, it's not often deemed as something which is a positive thing. We're not encouraged to cultivate our sensitivity. And there are many different reasons for that, but that's just the way that it has been. And often it's difficult for other people to understand or to get into the frame of mind of somebody who's very sensitive, because often people are trying to navigate their own emotions and their own sensitivity. So it's really what I want to share with you is this changing of perspective, of our perspective of ourselves, and to really hone in on the fact that being sensitive is very, very special. It's a gift. Being able to feel our environment is a gift. We are this way for a reason, so that we can actually communicate and be compassionate with what is in our environment. And when it comes to horses, that obviously includes them. So yeah, that's my message for today. Thank you.